Molweni, Madini Bulise, ndinamkele on our very first episode of Pull Up. Ke lena ke yi-podcast yethu apho dive into ubomi be-successful individuals and we explore indlela abathe bazikhupha ngayo kwizinto ezimbi. Igama lam ke ndinguSibusiso Mkhwebi, andihambi ndedwa, ndihamba nosisi wam which is uSisi Nokubonga Nqungwana. Ke namhlanje we're going to have a conversations about one of into ethi isihluphe apha ekuhlaleni kwethu which is mental health. Yeah.
Today we have, as he said, my name is Nokubonga Nqungwana. Today joining us we have Nobesu Mandlovu, who is a poet and a musician and a writer. We also have Jody Groenewald, who's a poet and a writer. And today Jody will be having a small piece of poems.
This is a poem I wrote a while back, and it's called Flower of Sun. It's very short, but I wrote this, I think, 2 years ago. It goes, for you a letter I wrote. Read it by candle on occasion. Fill up a bath, shut out the light. On occasion, my heart you will know how tiny it has become. On my part, that is. How tiny it became by years of misuse. On my part, that is. On past scenes, call when dark fall. Flower of sun, turn it face me, face you.
That's beautiful.
Oh, thank you very much. Jody,
Yeah.
siyabulela, thank you for blessing us with your poem.
Thank you.
I just wanna, I'm gonna start with you, Siswam, Nobesuthu Jennifer Mandlovu. Siyakwazi ke Gqeberha, you know, kwi-natsike ezininzi, kwi-festivals ezininzi. Also recently, usuka enatsikeni, bathi kuphi eBloemfontein. So Siswam, we want to ask you ke ngoku ngizakuqala ngokubuza ngolu hlobo. Could you give us a background yakho wena Siswam, and how did you start your path, career yakho, Siswam?
Okay, firstly, I would like to say thank you so much for inviting me up. It is an honor to be here. As said, igama lam nguNobesu Mandlovu, but known as Sotho Mandlovu, is the same thing.
Okay.
So just to answer you, ubana ndiqale nini, the journey of art. So I always answer this simply that the best question or the best way to answer it is to say you are born an artist. But it's a matter of when do you discover that? Be it to discover it, you're not doing whatsoever. When is it? Yeah, but so I've always loved singing. I mean, I've been singing in church when I was young, you know. And I think when I was in my high school, beginning of my high school year, there was a group called the Siyakutas. It was a theatrical group that was done or run by my brother Uthembi Selendlovu. So that is where we started getting with theater and all of that. One day I was
From
given
a younger age.
from a younger age, in my early years of high school. So I was given an opportunity to act as a poet.
Yeah.
Yeah, bo.
You started as an act.
Yeah,
Poet.
so,
That's beautiful.
so
Wow.
theater first, drama, then poetry. So
Okay.
singing, you've always known that you can sing, but you sing when you're a baby and all of that. So it was easy to detect that I can sing.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
bo.
great.
So I discovered then I was given a chance to act as a poet. So while I was performing being a poet, obviously it was not my poem,
Okay.
I realized, wait, I think I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
And maybe
I
the
love
response is
it, you know?
beautiful. Yeah. no?
Yeah, and even how people got glued in and paid attention, and that's when I discovered. I think this was okay. I don't want to disclose my years, but high school years.
Yeah. It was
That's beautiful. Jody, please tell us more. Who is Jody?
Ooh, wow, that's a loaded question. But Jody is a girl from a very small town called Humansdorp. Grew up there, born there, grew up there. And like Mandlovu, but my journey with art started in my early years of high school.
Okay.
There was this specific Afrikaans teacher that always encouraged everyone, not just me, to read, to write. And I always say, if you are a writer, you definitely have to be a reader. Yeah, because you cannot write without knowledge of what people are reading or what's.
And also it expands your
Yeah,
vocabulary.
yeah, it expands your vocab, your world in an essence. So yeah, that's me.
That's beautiful. Also, as we start this podcast we started just because we want to discuss issues regarding your mental health. Yeah. Well, so I'm going to start with you, Jody. I want to ask any incident or situation that had in your life that had challenged your mental health. Have you faced any situation, and could you tell us about situation?
Yeah, I've always been a very, what's the word? Reclusive person, like to myself. Just like being on your own, just liking
Okay.
your own space, your
Yeah.
own mind, just being you without many people around. So growing up, it was hard making friends for myself. I remember in school, I was always with my nose in a book because I had a library card and I would
Okay.
take out books the previous day, take my library books to school. So I have something to do in like intervals. So I wouldn't go out to the playground and play with kids. I would just take out my book and read and have my lunch. So it was hard making friends, and that led to like keeping to myself more. And keeping to yourself more is not always a good thing. Yeah, and that continued as I grew up. I remember, I think 2 years back, it got so bad that I had to resign my job.
Oh.
I was earning good money,
Yeah.
but it was
You were-
it was late in I think 2022. It was September. I remember the month. I just decided I can't do this anymore.
Because you were depressed or something?
I was depressed. I was so
Okay.
depressed. I wanted to just leave everything behind. I resigned my job, I remember. And then, but that's also when the journey started of coming to PE
Okay.
and studying stuff. So yeah, I think with the bad came good in a way. Yeah.
What a beautiful story. Yeah.
And with the resigning, we understand that in this industry, there's sometimes you have gigs, sometimes you don't. And during COVID, I think we've all learned that it's really hard because we are all in lockdown, so we couldn't really do much. So how do you tackle such situations?
It really comes down to you taking your life into your own hands. I know that sounds very hard or like very vague, but deciding what it is you want to do and jotting down a plan, like 1, 2, 3, and 4. And each day do something to work towards that plan. Some days you don't have motivation at all. Some days you feel like just what's the use? Why am I doing this? But it's a good thing to keep on going. I always say that this is something I told myself. What's to lose? What do you have to lose? So if you do something, if you
That's gonna
tackle,
change,
yeah, it's gonna change. Even if you like, because I remember going to competitions, like singing competitions and stuff, and telling myself, if you don't go, you always wonder, what if I didn't go? But if you do go and perhaps don't make it or lose or whatever, at least you went and you know for a fact now, okay, now is not my time. But wondering of what would have been or could have been if you didn't take that opportunity, I think that's the worst part for me. Yeah.
Sis Mandlovu, ndicela ke nawe same time usiphe, let's say apho a moment uye wadibana ne-mental health yakho i-challengeekile. That laa nto yenzekileyo, I would say, this one
I could count plenty. I could count plenty of things
that one enkulu.
I think trying to navigate back now to such issues. I think the one that actually takes the cup thus far, besides Dad's passing, I think it's when Ekaya we had fire. Yeah, bro, my home burnt. Yo, yeah, but that one, shame. That was like a slap, more than a slap. Shame, it was a kick on the face.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. I mean, come on, you're home. My parents passed away, so you can just imagine.
Recently now.
So they passed away before that.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. So this is what happened. No, the point I wanted to make with my parents is that my home obviously is a historical site. Like everything that's there, it's very important to us because it reminds us of our parents. Yeah, bro. So one day I get home and I left my kids. The eldest one that was there was Nwabisa. Nwabisa is 24 and my cousin is 28. So obviously Indian Kone adults. So I'm comfortable. I come back the following morning. Then on my way home, so there's this other neighbor of mine. So she says to me, I'm like, what do you mean? So as I'm going up the street, I see a lot of people, there's ambulances, police, and it's quite immense. Yeah, but even my home is quite big. So I can see from there, hey guys, really, I think I went numb and everything just went shut. Yeah, but at that time, I can't really say how I felt, and I was shocked, and I was sad that my niece, Uhlumela, got burnt, but thank God she's still alive. Yeah, but it affected her drastically in terms of her physique and and it took a very hard toll, not only on me but also on my family, because I am the youngest Ekaya, but I was forced to wear the shoes of my mom, so I had to take responsibility and all of that. So now having to come home and you get kukumdana you're definitely gonna blame yourself for that. Yeah,
just
because you were not there, and you would think to yourself, if
ever been
maybe it did take a huge toll emotionally. It was extremely exhausting having to go back and forth and praying to God. I remember this one time, because mine is my daughter, Ushumi, she was on ICU. So now they call me and I'm at work. Umdana is in a coma and she can't move. So I said to them, please play her favorite song, the I'm Unstoppable. She loves the song. They would sing it a lot. So I say to my brother.
The song by Sia?
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
So I say to my brother, please play her that song.
So that it can be from the
because now they're telling me, because she's my daughter. I know her. I know when she lost her first tooth, because I left her in. She was very young, I think like 6 months. Now she's 16. So she's been with me all this time. And this happened when she was like 14. So I said, please play Unstoppable. So now they play the song. And then they come back to me. Daba, was she moved? Oh, I wept at work, I'm at work at that time. So she's with sister-in-law and my brother in the hospital. So they're changing times. And I know now right after work, I'm going to go straight to her for the second turn. So they tell me, no, Dabs, and it's strict most in ICU. No one can just So they said, no, Daba, I'm done. She moved. Because I went to the bathroom and I cried. I'm like, thank you so much, God. Thank you for sparing the life of my daughter. Please keep at it. We need her back. I don't care how bad she has burnt, just her life. So cutting the story short, it took a toll because it's personal. So obviously, being an artist who is inspiration dependent, obviously that's going to affect your writing. That's going to affect you as an artist at large. So I don't know if you asked what pulled me through from that.
I asked, well, how did it impact you? One thing
it impacted me in a huge way, bro. There were gigs I couldn't go to. Because there was no way I was gonna stand there and act like I'm entertaining. Whereas
so you were not like able to express your artistic ways.
Able to do a thing.
Was there ever a time where you just wanted to quit and just leave everything?
Work was toxic, so I always wanted to leave, even prior this happening. It was toxic. So, but they came true for me. The work that they came true for me. They did, because I think they gave me almost 76,000 to rebuild my home.
That's beautiful.
So, at least
76. So it didn't take us a long time to rebuild the house, and we revamped it. It looks way greater
and
than it was.
It was better that nobody died, and at least even though you can recover them.
The turnout was not as planned, but we're grateful.
Thank you very much. These stories, guys, are beautiful stories. I want Kengoku just we're gonna close the show and the performance. I want you guys to give us strategies or ways that how did you for instance, how did you overcome that situation that you were in, and please give us strategies and ways, if you have them, onto how to baleka or run away from mental health. Yes.
I definitely, it gets worse before it gets better. So you're going to go into a very dark place, that's for sure. I'm not gonna go and hype someone up and tell them get going, get out of bed, do this and do that. It's hard before it gets better. So I believe for me, I went through that stage. I didn't deny myself, like going into the depths of despair,
Okay.
for the lack of
Maybe go
better
and
words.
leave.
Yeah. No, not really. Just
Like you didn't do that.
yeah, I didn't go. I didn't return. I mean, like I didn't do drugs or drank myself into a stupor or something. But it was really bad mentally. Yeah, so go through that stage, but tell yourself that after this, you are getting up physically and emotionally. So allow yourself to grieve in a way and then start making plans to get yourself out of that. Yeah.
So it's exactly the same thing which Jody has said. It's allowing yourself to feel, and it's okay. You need to understand that there's not going to be good times always. We are humans. We're just like nature. There's going to be rainy days. There's going to be sunny days. So be it you need to sit in with it. Sit in with it. Don't drink it away. Don't relationship it away. Just sit with it and pray about it. Prayer got me through it. Then you're going to be good.
With that being said, we are
Thank
truly
you.
thankful
Thank you,
for you guys
guys.
joining us. We have goodies, okay? We have
Oh.
Oh yeah. Guys, it's been a beautiful interview. And
It's a
we are
pleasure.
hoping, and both I'm not hoping, I know that
Thanks.
listeners zizile kuyo yonke lento. So guys, thank you very much for your presence. We are not taking this for granted. Yeah, thank you very much. Right about now, Kengoku, we are gonna go to the performance. Sis Mandlovu is gonna give us something beautiful, you guys. It was a fantastic show. It was a great show, Bekumandi. It has been pull up. Keep pulling up and reaching for your dreams, guys. Yabo. Sis Mandlovu right about now, Stella guitar. Uyava ke ngoku. Sastela guitar. Uyava ke ngoku. So, guys, thank you very much. Keep pulling up and reaching for your dreams, man. Sis Mandlovu.
That's so humble. Tandaza Kudalandi Tandazele Kudalandi Nyateli Mihlabe Nenkunzana Kudalandi Sisa Dalandi Sisa Mna Dalandi Sisa Dalandi Sisa Mna Ma Yinele Mfula Mayine 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 Indi Tambe Emoyeni Indi hlambe nengqondo nenhliziyo yam iqaleqeleni qaleqeleni 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 Mandlovu mayine lemvula mayine Mayine Kankolo Mayine Mambondo Mayine Mbezana Skali Mayine Kachedi Mayine
beSuthu bethunana. Oh, it was great, beautifully. It has been a show. It has been pull up, bafethu. Mandlovu enjoyed the pull up in the show, and then it was great. It was great.